Do you still stream? Do you still stream on Switch? Do you? Great start. Okay. Do you still stream on Twitch? We are recording, by the way.
Oh no. No, I don't. I just did it for fun, but it was just like video games and stuff.
Yeah.
But my book has been taking up so much of my time that I just can't anymore. I don't have time to.
Well, how's it been going since the release?
It's been going really good. So I'm on book two and I'm about halfway done. So, well, not quite halfway. I'm only on chapter 14 right now, and I feel like there's going to be around 40. But it's of my second draft, and it's going really good. I made 203 sales as of 2 days ago,
Oh wow.
which is amazing because it hasn't even been 90 days yet since I published. So that was really, really surprising. So it's been going really good.
That's awesome though. To be fair, because a lot of that is, I mean, all of it is 100% your marketing, isn't it? You don't rely on anyone else. Just
No, it's all me. I mean, I have people like fans who will help share the book or they'll share it to their friends and stuff like that, which has been really helpful. But no, I don't pay anyone and I don't have anyone to do any of the marketing. It's all been done by me and it's very time consuming. So I've pulled back on it. Um, After what is it, July, after June, I really stopped because I need to focus on other things. So my sales have gone down, but I've still made like 15 sales this month and I've only done 1 or 2 days of marketing. So I mean, it's still kind of going a little strong, which is great.
and okay, so if you're listening to this podcast, it means I've been killed. No, if you're listening to this podcast, so you need to go online, go down to the description and buy a book, get those sales up. Basically, that's what we want, right? Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, if you listen to the podcast, well, number one, hit like, hit subscribe. Make sure you do that. That's number one, obviously. Then grab your copy of your book. This is going to be in the thumbnail and buy it. Buy as many as you can. Give them to all your friends. Give it to your nan and her
Yes.
friends. And
She'll love
then,
it.
yeah, she will. She'll be like, oh, Curse the Fallen. That's awesome. And then she'll buy it for her friends. And then the cycle continues. That's what we want.
Yeah. See?
I'm just going to keep saying Curse of the Fallen, Curse. And
Yeah.
and
Just ingrain that in your brain.
exactly.
Don't
And
ever
then
forget.
buy it for everyone. I mean, the tradition in England is on Boxing Day, everyone gets a box of chocolates and normally like a Nike spray or something like that. I feel like it's a weird tradition. We're going to change it. Everyone gets Curse of the Fallen.
Yes.
That's it. Because why do you don't need spray. You can just use soap.
No. Exactly. Right. Just wash.
Don't use the book for the same purpose. That's just you should know that. But
well, as
yeah,
long as you buy it, that's all I care about. You
yeah,
can use it.
that's
Just get that new book smell all over you.
I want to just clear one thing up as well quickly because I explained it to you beforehand, but to my 3 viewers, no. We're experiencing a heat wave here, and then there's a storm. Hence why I'm currently really red. So if anyone's looking at it thinking he's really red, that's exactly why. Because I'm in the loft, and every second that passes, it's 1 degree hotter.
I thought you were just that flustered to just be in my presence.
I am. I'm like, oh my god, it's HE Newell. Can you believe it? Like
we're not having a heat wave over here, which is why I look on fleek.
That's it. That's what we want. I'm gonna get you back in the summer, and we're gonna get Keith on as well. This is the plan.
Oh yeah. I need to find a day that's good for him, so we can all get on here. And then I have an audiobook coming out, so we can also see if the audiobook narrator or whatever come on and talk about himself and what he's doing. I mean, he's amazing, you guys. My audiobook is gonna be so great. He does different. I don't know if you listen to audiobooks, but he does different accents for every single character. Every single character has a different accent and they all have a different voice. And he's practicing a song that Lorik sings in the book. I think it's in chapter like 9, but he's been sending me audio clips like, is this good? Is this the right tune? Because he's actually going to sing his part. And he's so amazing. I'm so excited.
That is awesome. Did he talk to you about his creative choices with the accents first, or did he roll with it?
Whenever I put out the audition piece for narrators, I told them that it's going to be more of a challenging project because I had sort of high expectations and I wanted the different accents. I wanted my characters' voices to come out. And I described in there, Lorik has a more Irish accent, Gil has a more Scottish accent. So all of them sent in their clips, and some people didn't even do any accents, which I thought was just kind of crazy. But, maybe they can't, and that's fine. But I chose someone that could because that's what I wanted. And me and him went back and forth before we ever signed any sort of contract with each other, just to see if he would be willing or able to do what I wanted. Because I don't want to make somebody do something that's crazy. I want the expectations to be there from the beginning. So we actually come up with voices together. And then he came up with like Cloud's voice because I had no idea what I want a Cloud to sound like. And it just blew me away. So I was like, look, you're just amazing. So I don't know. And like his Near, because he's got this naturally deep, like raspy voice, just naturally, but his Near sounds like feminine. She sounds like a woman. It's just incredible. I just can't describe it. It's so incredible. I'm so excited. I don't even listen to audiobooks. I'm so going to listen to my audiobook when it comes out because he's so amazing.
I haven't listened to mine. I am scared.
No.
Because the book changed so much from the first draft to the last.
Oh yeah.
And like, I don't know. I'm terrified. It like halved. That's I'm pretty certain it like almost halved. Because the one of the guy that helped me get it done said this. He was like, "It's very, very dialogue heavy," and I was like, "Yeah, but I talk a lot." So
Right.
that's how I just
People love dialogue.
yeah, and like I'm a huge slasher fan, like massive, like really bad slashes, where no one can act and there's just blood everywhere, and if you have sex, smoke, or blaspheme, then you're gonna die. That I love that. So I was putting in loads of references.
You're the reason that those movies still exist.
100%. Yeah, I want to
Get
write
it together.
as well. Like I want to make one. Like I want to just make a script because it doesn't cost a lot to put together. You need like 8 people and one gigantic dude as a mask-wearing killer, and then you get a load of fake blood. And you could just
And
go
then get
nuts.
a 2-year-old to do the camera work.
Yeah, exactly. Because like just shake it. It doesn't need to look good. Get like a bucket of fake blood and just spend a weekend camping and killing each other. Like I would absolutely love to do that as like a project.
That would actually be really fun.
Yeah, and then I realized that the reason I write stuff is because I can't act. I'm definitely not made for the front of a camera, which is bizarre how this all came about.
Oh my god!
Like honestly, this came about through rejection after. I don't know if I've mentioned to you how this started.
Mm-mm.
So during the anyone who's heard my podcast before as well is he's telling the story again, but it's hilarious. So I'm going to tell it. So I was never meant to be in front of a camera for obvious reasons. I get very red and it's hot and I look like a thumb. So I was like, but at the beginning of the pandemic, this musician that I know, she put this really heartfelt post out saying, I can't work. The world's locked down. I can't work. I don't know how I'm going to survive. The same for loads of my singing friends. And I was like, I got no money, but I have I can create a platform for you. So you can come on, we'll create a virtual pub and we'll put singers on and comedians and we'll give you a place where you can work every day. And I'll get bartenders. We'll get like bartenders, funny guys.
Yeah.
And they will, and I can't give you money, but I can give you a space to perform and still work. So we created it and I reached out to her and I went, look, this is the plan. This is what we're going to do. I can't give you money, but I can give you somewhere that you can perform because that's the best I can do. But I want to help. And she said, no. so we were like, I know. So we were like, fuck it. We'll put the virtual pub out anyway. And we did. And we drank a bit too much and we chatted nonsense, but it was a really fun experience. And then somehow it evolved from that to this, and then 20 questions with, which they reached out to me and they were like, do you want to talk to interesting people? Like the one of the last ones we had on was, do you know who Grant D'Amato is? So Grant D'Amato is, maybe I shouldn't have said his name. He murdered his mum, dad, and brother over because he was giving money to a cam girl.
That was so unexpected.
Plot twist.
Oh yeah, I do know who you're talking about. Yeah.
So I got a chance. They were like, do you want to talk to his girlfriend? And I was like, absolutely.
Oh.
And then
That's cool.
so then it's like it spiraled from getting drunk and being rejected into talking with interesting people like yourself and like the girlfriends of very well-known serial killers. Like
No, it's
very,
not that interesting.
very, are you 100%? Well,
That
you
was
know,
interesting as heck.
no, 100% you are, because you wrote this, and I'll do it again. See, she didn't write a book. All she did was get with someone that likes to chop people up. I shouldn't have said that.
I shouldn't laugh about that. It's actually very sad.
It
But
is.
that was
Oh no, it's horrific. But like you have to, you a part of me you have to kind of, you can't get emotional. Like, do you know what I mean? Like you have to sort of make. I have to make jokes because otherwise I will. I will. Like I did an interview with a woman who I did an interview with Celia Lissett Alvarez. I don't know if you've heard of her. I spoke to her. So she gave birth to twins, and her son didn't make it. And her way of dealing with it was she wrote this book called Multiverses, and Multiverses it's exactly what it sounds like. So she wrote different timelines where her son survived, one where he turned 30 and he turned up at Thanksgiving with a girlfriend and they were vegan and all this. And it broke my heart listening to this, like listening to her talking, telling her story. And I had to just, you have to just sort of, you have to lighten it, because otherwise it's like,
that's really neat though. That's really interesting way to process your grief
yeah. Well,
by writing stories like that.
she was the first person that she sent me the full book beforehand. She was like, look, she knew she was coming on. She sent it to me and she went, just have a noodle through. And I found myself, I read it in an hour, I think it was, just
Wow.
blitzed this book. And I was, honestly, there was a point where I had to move the mic away and I was like, just give it a
Yeah,
second.
link it whenever you post the video so we can all
Oh yeah,
and
100%.
support her.
But it's a way of dealing with grief that like
Yeah.
for most of us, we just drink too much and, you know what I mean, eat too much, and we're just like,
Yep.
yeah, well, But no, she processed it into this piece of art that is absolutely beautiful.
That's amazing.
That was a long road for a short path, and I can't remember how we got there. But one of the things I wanted to mention as well, while I'm spiraling, is why this made me laugh, and the fact that you did it is uh, I used to do, my cousin's a magician, and we used to film all his tricks, put them online. And we started just jamming stuff in the background just to see if anyone noticed. It started off with a Deadpool head, like just sort of randomly. And then for Halloween, we ended up with all these fake body parts. So we sort of like stuffed them out of a bag and sort of put that in the background. Like, and yeah, it got weird and no one ever noticed the thing. Like,
Oh my god.
but if you, they're still on Facebook, Shaky the Magician, and you can go on and you can just see this guy doing card tricks. And in the background, you're like, is that an arm?
Oh my god, that's funny.
And it's just like, but yeah. So when does the audiobook get released?
Well, my narrator is in the process of moving. It was sort of unforeseen almost, because you never know if your house is going to sell or not. So that sort of put him back. But he is saying that the audiobook should come out at the end of August. He said that's been the goal the whole time, but I told him not to rush it. So if we can have it by the end of September, I'll be happy. Because I told everyone August, but I would rather push it out for better quality than like try to get it rushed to meet that deadline. So hopefully by the end of August. If not, then we will for sure have it by the end of September. So it's coming.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, when you do, you seem so excited. I love it. It's like, because it's there, and you have
Oh my
this.
god.
I fully get it. When we did ours, one of my favorite parts was just listening to the auditions, because we had so many amazing people, and
Oh yeah.
but you kind of know when don't you? When you hear the
Yeah.
voice, like me and Bex, we listened together, and when we heard our voice, we were like, okay, yeah, that's the one.
Well, it was funny because my narrator actually messaged me on Instagram, and I don't usually go for people just messaging me to ask if I can work with them because a lot of time it's like spams or scams and stuff like that. But I don't know, his felt really genuine. And he was like, "Hey, I'm kind of new to this. I'm wanting to go full time." And he wrote me like he wrote me like a book, just like, I'm a dad and I do this and this and this and this and this. And I was just like, okay, all right, okay, all right, all right, all right. And so I was like, okay, sure. Like, you seem really friendly. And I mean, he's from the UK and y'all talk a lot. So I kind of expected him to talk a lot. So that didn't really put me off. If he was from America, I'd be like, all right, you're talking too much. But y'all just talk a lot over there. And like me, I belong over there with you guys. And I was like, okay, fine. You can go ahead and just send your audition piece and I'll just, I only take auditions from this website. So you have to do it formally, that kind of thing. But then I went to his Instagram like the next day because I was kind of curious, because I honestly thought it was some kind of spam thing just because I get so many of them. I don't know, something just felt genuine about his responses, though. It didn't feel spammy. So the next day I went to his Instagram and I was just blown away by his little clips of his like audio clips that he put. I was like, there's no way this guy just messaged me. He's so good. Why did he just message me like that? So, because I was expecting like a new person, like, that had like kind of new equipment and maybe wasn't as experienced, but his was so professional and he sounded so good. I was like, there's no way. And this is so weird. But I had 3 people that I was debating on. And one of them was American. He didn't speak with an accent. And I wanted more of like a British sort of English accent for the narration. And he didn't have that, but he did do the accents very well for the characters. And then I did have another guy who had he was very experienced and he had a really good British accent because he was British, but he didn't really do the accents for the characters very well. And then I had my narrator now who has a really good narration accent and a good accent for the characters. So I had a lot of people that follow my Facebook page because I get them involved with things like this if I can. And I asked if anyone wanted to help me choose the narrator. So I sent them the audio clips of the auditions and I just took the one that got the most votes. And I was really leaning towards him, but I was so torn. Like, they were all so, so, so good. I really couldn't decide. So I'm really grateful that I have a following and a little community is what I like to call us, that were willing to really help me and listen, because they listened to a few of them. And then even after I had chosen my narrator, I still sent a couple of the people like the first chapter, like the first 15 minutes that they do, to be like, hey, is this good? Are you sure you want to, just to make for sure. And they're like, this sounds so good. So I was really excited. And the good thing about my narrator too is that he's taking a big risk just on his side. I mean, I have a lot of integrity. I'm not going to do anything or screw him over or anything, but he sends me the chapters when he's finished with them. So he will actually record the whole chapter and then he sends me the chapter and he's like, hey, did I pronounce these words right? Did I say this thing right? Is the accent good? And I usually have to tell him, no, you pronounced that wrong, because I made up a whole language and it's really hard to pronounce, especially when you're just reading it like a narrator. But I'm so grateful that he does that, because I feel like he cares about this book almost as much as I do. And that's what I wanted. So I'm really grateful, because apparently a lot of narrators, they just do the first 15 minutes of the book and then you don't get anything else until it's done. And that's insanity to me. It's so insane. And I would not have gone for that. I would have rather just recorded it myself. So I'm really grateful that he does that.
I got told that I should record the next one myself. And I don't know if I'm about that life, because like, would you do any of your own?
No, I tried.
All right.
And I have a nice Southern accent, I'm sure you can hear. And it does not translate well when I try doing other accents, and especially male accents, because I have one female in my book and every other character is a man.
Yeah.
So I should just post the ones that I tried to do myself.
No, 100% you should, yeah.
Because they're so bad. I sent my narrator clips of the accents that I had in my head, just so he can kind of hear what I kind of hear. No, they sounded like donkeys or something. Like, it was so he was like, what is this?
it sounds like you've what you've done really well as well is see, that's why I couldn't do it, because I stumble over my words, not just like a little trip, it's a drunk fall and
Oh
face
yeah.
planting. It's bad, but you've got a great like ability to collaborate with people. So
Oh yeah.
you're in all of these pages, you know, you're talking to all these people, and you can work well, and you do need a bit of that. Like, well, you need all of that. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not throwing shade at anyone at all, but I've had a few people that I've spoke to who wanted like to do this, and they're rude, and they're a little bit mean, and you're like, but with like I don't
Yeah. Well,
go.
yeah, some people they just don't and it's just a personality thing. They don't have a lot of charisma, I guess you could say, if that's the right word, or charm. And they don't talk a lot. Like my husband, not saying he doesn't have charisma or charm, but he's very introverted. So
Just
so
throwing
like
shots at your husband online. Wow.
I mean, he just doesn't talk a lot. So like he's not like me where I can just go up to somebody and I can just have a conversation. I can just think of things to say. And like if you say something to me, I can think of a whole paragraph to say back, when he would only say like a sentence back, and he would get his whole point across in a sentence when it would take me a whole paragraph. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's just, I mean, I'm also a photographer on the side, and I get clients like that sometimes because I'm really, you know how I am. I'm just very talkative and friendly and just like make friends with everyone. And some people aren't like that. So it feels tense and it feels like they're rude, but it's just, they just don't know what to say, or they just aren't like me. So our
Yeah.
personalities don't really go well together. Um, but yeah, I know what you mean. And it can be difficult
Yeah.
to try to collaborate with people. I mean, even from their side, because they don't talk a lot, or they don't know what to say. So it can be hard for them too. I don't know. I always get questions from people, especially other authors. And they're like, how did you get so many sales? Or how do you get have so much traction on your posts? Or how do you have so many followers and things like that? And I mean, I honestly don't know. I feel like it's a little bit of luck.
I can tell you what it is. I genuinely can, and I'm not gonna be the guy that's just sucking up for the sake of it because you're on my podcast. But no, genuinely, it's because you come across as genuine, and with stuff like this, it's a process. It's give and take because it's your baby. It's something you create. Like the reason that I chose to self-publish rather than go with the publisher that originally I was going to is because I didn't want them to come in and chop stuff up and take bits out. I was talking to them, and I just decided along the way that I was like, I don't want to work with these people. And you have to be able to do that with the audiobook. You have to be able to collaborate. If they put something in, no one wins by you just going, nope, 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 no.
Yeah.
You have
Yeah.
like there has to be some compromise, and there has to be like a good working relationship, and you have that in all senses through the media, through doing this, through the pages. Like I see you online, like your launch party, and where you're chatting with people, and like that comes across as genuine. Like, you know what I mean? I feel like people can feel that. Does that make sense? You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, I agree with you. And it is genuine. There is some professionalism and some strategy to what you have to say in your post, obviously. I know people don't have, like me, we don't have a big attention span because of social media and stuff. So whenever I want to say something that is longer than what the post will allow before it says see more, I can't say that because no one will click it. So there's a strategy to how you say things. But I mean, I'm just going to be myself. I did try in other business ventures that I've done, to be more professional, or to make myself come across as more successful, because I know like if you put yourself out there as successful, people will view you as successful, but it's not, like you said, it's not genuine. People can kind of see through that, and it didn't really do well. So with my book, I was like, I'm not even going to brand myself as an author. I'm just going to be myself, and I'm going to just enjoy the process. And if people like me and they like my book and they like what I have to offer, then that's great because that's who I am. And I believe, and I say this all the time, especially in my launch parties and Facebook Live parties and stuff, that I believe that you should give credit where credit is due, and you should appreciate those who are supporting you, because I would not be where I am, if I didn't have people purchasing my book and wanting to do podcasts with me and telling people about my story and things like that. So that's why I want people who are in my Facebook to be part of it. That's why I ask them, hey, do you want to read like a couple chapters of book 2? Because you've been so great to me, and you've been so, I don't want to say loyal, but you've been just so responsive and so engaging. I want to do this for you. Like, there was one girl who I let her read some of the audio or listen to some of the audiobook, and she helped me choose. So she bought a signed copy, and with the signed copy, it comes like one bookmark or something like that. Well, it comes with one bookmark. I know what it comes with. And I sent her all 3 of my bookmarks and like a couple little extra things just to say thank you. So it's just doing little things like that where people know that they're appreciated, because I'm just one of those people that if I hold a door open for you and you don't say thank you, it really pisses me off. Like, just say thank you. You know what I mean? And I don't do it for the thank you, but just say thank you.
Yeah. See, most British people, if they hold the door open for someone and no one responds, we have a tendency to go, "You're welcome."
Oh yeah. But see,
Yeah.
people here, we carry guns here, and I'm not about to get shot because somebody didn't say thank you.
No, you gotta stand in your convictions. That got really serious. Stand in your what it is. Okay, so I live opposite a pub, right?
Mhm.
And a little while back, and now there's drama at this pub all the time, right? All it to me,
It's a
it's
problem,
it's amazing though. Like me and Bex, we woke up not that long ago, and the window was open because
oh
heat
no.
wave, and
Yeah.
we could hear 2 guys there arguing, and British slang is a lot of like bruv and all that. Like, it doesn't sound good, and especially from me. And these 2 guys were arguing, but they were friends, and one
Mhm.
was going, bruv, you laughed at me, and the other one was going, no, I wouldn't do that to you, bruv. I would. And then we were like, oh, they're bros. They love each other, but they were both
But they're about
like,
to hit each other with their fists.
no, because they were never gonna punch each other, because they were like, it was just that. It was like the most broy thing. Like, I would never
Yeah.
laugh at you, but you laughed at me. No, and we were listening, and we were like, oh, we want them to hug. But the not that long ago, there was like I could hear like shouting and screaming, and I looked out the window, and there was this, like when a girl says her dad's huge. He looked like that. So he had a big beer belly and skinny arms and a white tank top, because of course he did. And he was standing there. He was going, come on, bring your
Oh
mates.
my god.
And that was my reaction. And I was like, tuck in. This is going to be great. So he went, bring your mates. Come on. And there's a guy standing there, and he sort of took a second. He went, all right. And he walked inside, and then he come back out, and he brought his mates. And this guy with this gigantic beer belly and skinny arms began barreling down the street, running off. Like, he ran off. And I was like, if you say something along those lines, you've got to stand by your convictions. You've just got to take your beatings. Just
That's so
take your
funny.
beating. Yeah, but to be fair, we don't have guns, so it's a bit different. But it's like, if you say it, you can't back down. You can't run away. You just got to take it.
Yeah.
But he didn't. He took off. I've never seen a big guy. For a big guy, he moved quick.
That is so funny.
But
Oh
it's
my god. That's so funny.
that's going to be the next podcast. It's just going to be me hanging out the window watching drama unfold.
Oh yeah, I would so watch that. I
Mm.
would so people watch at the pub.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know what it is. There's just something there that's like, there was one, like on Jerry Springer, every time it was like, it was always 2 big women and one like skinny dude. Like it,
I
like
never
no,
watched it, but yeah, I know what you're talking.
I'm not dissing Jerry Springer. We had Jeremy Kyle. It's the same thing.
Oh my
And
god.
I woke up, and there was these women screaming, and they all looked like that kind of portly, like I don't know how to describe it. They were like Vicky Pollards if you've watched Little Britain, and they were all screaming. They were like, "You set my boyfriend know it," and it went on for so long that I found myself being like, "I want the boyfriend to turn up, just pop up, just be like, hey," because I was like, "What are you doing?" And then you have to have a moment of realization, right? I was going, "What are they doing?" And then it went in my brain. It was like, "You've been watching them for an hour. Go to bed. just, just go." And it's like, Yeah, again, another long road for a short path, but we got there. So you've got fans,
Yes.
like actual fans. What's that? What is that like? Like
uh, I mean, it's interesting. There's what is the saying called where you don't feel like you
imposter
deserve.
syndrome.
Yeah,
Yes.
I don't really think I've ever experienced that. Which is interesting because I don't honestly, maybe I am experiencing it actually because I don't feel like it's real. I don't know. It's interesting. I know people like my book, and I know that they like me, and I know that they are ready and eager to read book two, and they're buying signed copies and stuff. So that's really cool. But I've been writing for so long that it doesn't really feel any different, if that makes sense. It does. I don't feel like I'm a published author, and maybe it's because I'm only selling stuff online. I'm not doing in-person book tours, and I'm not doing
Yet.
right. Exactly. No, it is in the works. I'm trying to figure all that out. I need a PR because public relations person because I don't know how to do like radio. I don't know how to get myself into bookstores, like stuff like that. I don't really know exactly how to do that. I need to
Yeah.
take some classes on it and research, but it's interesting. I'm not surprised because I've been writing this book for, and not to sound cocky, I've been writing this book for 7 years, and I did not want to put it out until I knew that it was good. And that's why it took me so long to put it out because it never felt right. It never felt right. And I shared it with a few people before I published it, some fantasy readers, and they were just blown away by it. My husband's blown away by it. Everyone that has read it before I published it was just absolutely blown away. My editor said he was going to buy a copy because he just liked it so much and he said it was so great. So that really kind of confirmed it almost for me that, yeah, this book is good enough. And
It
I didn't really expect people to hate it. I mean, I know some people aren't going to like it because people like what they like, but I don't know. It's kind of having the response I expected it to have, a little bit better than I expected it to have, but around I figured people would really like it. I'm really glad that the people that don't like it or haven't really been into it haven't really been saying much because I don't think it's a bad book, but I know there's some people just aren't going to like it, which is fine. I did get a 2-star review on Goodreads, but she didn't leave a review. She just left like the little stars. So, yeah, and I mean, it was fine. I was like, I'm glad that's not like a detailed review of how horrible it is. It's just stars, so people are just gonna kind of look over it.
have you seen Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back?
Mm-mm.
There's a scene where they go they find all the addresses for everyone that's badmouthed them online, and they go and knock on the door, and it'd be like a 13-year-old kid, and they just beat him up and just
Like,
move on to the next
why
one.
did you leave me 2 stars? I
Yeah,
know
just
this is
explain.
at least 3 stars.
Ah, you would get your rep up so quickly as a badass author if you just turn up and you were like, explain this. I want to know why 2 stars. Just tell
I
me.
mean,
Just
I do want to ask people, like people that leave me 4-star reviews, but they leave like it's glowing, but it's 4 stars. I just want to ask, like, what can I do to improve it? Like, why was this not 5-star worthy? But I don't want to come across as like I don't interrogating them or being aggressive towards them because I just genuinely want to know like what could make this 5-star for you is kind of what I would want to know. Or like to the 2-star reviewer, like, did you just not like it? Was it just not your book, or was there something in it that you thought could be better? um, those are the type of questions that I like to ask because I really like to learn and I really like to improve upon myself. And I think that, sorry, I have to check this over here every once in a while. Um, I really like to improve upon myself. And I think that if you have a very closed off mind and you have a very standoff ish attitude towards criticism, then you're not really going to grow. Whenever I found my writing partner Keith, he asked me for the first chapter because I was giving it out to people to read to see what they thought, and he had really brutal uh, feedback, but it was very good feedback. You know, like I could tell he knows what he's talking about. He reads fantasy books. He knows like this is bad for this reason. And he would give me reasons why this isn't good or this needs to change or this makes no sense. And that's what I needed. And I responded very well to it. And that's why we work so well together,
And
because he can
that's
just be like, look, this makes no sense. This is that I don't even know why you put this in here. And then sometimes he'll just send me a little comment that it says WTF. Like, what was this? And
yeah.
I'm just like, okay, yeah, you're right. So
And you killed him in response. That you killed him in your
oh
book.
yeah.
Yeah, that you were just like, yeah, that's my revenge. I'm gonna murder you. I do the same thing.
Well, he wanted
Not to
to be.
Keith. I'd never kill Keith.
Oh, I'd kill him again. I'm gonna put Keith in every single book, and he's gonna die in every single book.
Oh, I'm gonna for every Keith that you kill, I'm gonna bring one back from the dead. Book wars has begun.
Oh no. Well, see, all right, that's not a spoiler to anyone that hasn't read the book. Keith is just this random mercenary that I named Keith. He's not even a character,
He's
but
a red shirt. That's what it is. Like,
he's it's one of the first mercenaries that they come across in the book, and he's the first person, well, not the first person to die, I guess, but he's one of the first people to die. He's the first named background character to die. And I told him, he asked me if he could be in the book, and I was like, well, yeah, I mean, I name all my background characters that don't die or have bad fates. I name them after people in my life, because I'm not about to name somebody that dies after someone in my life, you know. So, but I was like, but I'll name you after a mercenary. He was like, yeah, badass. And I was like, but I'm gonna kill him. He was like, oh, badass. He was
that's
excited to die.
no, that's cool. What'd be nice is just a little side story of one of the Keiths.
Oh
Just
my god.
just like a couple of chapters at the end of a book, just to
I'm
be
not
like,
even I'm
yeah,
not even going to give him the link to this, because he's gonna hear that and his head's just gonna expand. He's
I'll
gonna
write
want.
I'll write it, Keith. I will write your story,
Oh no.
and I won't kill you.
He wants to die. He was excited to die.
I'll give you a glorious death then.
There you go.
Yeah, we'll make it like spoilers, Spartacus.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he would love that.
best TV show ever. Just
Well,
saying.
I am planning to do. That's funny that you mentioned that. I'm planning to do prequels and stuff. I'm sorry, I'm paying attention. I just have to look over here every once in a while.
That's all
Um,
right. I'm good at rambling, so I'll just fill the gap. I also want to quickly give a shout out to Ronald, because that was my first fan, the first guy that followed me on everything and still likes my
oh,
posts. And he's going to be an
hi
author himself.
Ronald.
Yeah, Ronald, give us a comment. And he's going to release a book soon as well, which I'm going to
Oh
completely ignore and
yay.
not bring him on the podcast because he's my fan. I'm not his fan. No, I just lost him. I'm sorry, Ronald.
Ronald, just go over to my page. I'll appreciate you. I'll put
No,
you in my book.
she'll kill you in her book, Ronald. She's a savage. I would never do that to you. I'll make you a hero.
I'll only kill you if you want. Now I have another friend who lives in Australia. And he read chapter 1, and we played video games and stuff together. And he asked if he could be in the book. So I was like, sure. And then he's actually a pub owner in the book. His name is Scott. So actually, he's in the book, and he owns one of the pubs, and he's a character. But I told him in whatever book later, because there's gonna be 6 books. I was like, but they're gonna go back to the pub, and it's gonna be burned down, and your head's gonna be on a bike.
Yes, I love it. I
He
think
loved it. He was like, make sure my son, because he's got a son in real life. He's like, make sure my son is running the pub. Make sure he's over there. I was like, oh my god.
so.
I was just like messing around, but he loved it.
Yeah, go brutal with it. Go like head on a spike. The rib cage is opened up. I love
Oh
it.
god.
Yeah, man. Put some crows in there.
Y'all people. See, he's English too. He's just living in Australia because he's confused. But y'all just like y'all love whenever I kill you in my books. I don't get it.
Oh, we love savagery. Like
Like I was like trying to be mean, and he's like, yes. I'm like, okay. I'm just gonna keep you alive then.
my thing is, I haven't killed anyone that I know, but I killed my neighbor because he's a dick.
Oh yeah,
And
you told me.
yeah, he's never gonna watch. He hates me, and I think he's a dick. So I made him a pedophile. Spoiler alert. Then I killed him. So I was like,
That's so messed up. See me
uh,
over here, I'm like, oh my god, that's so messed
no,
up.
it was messed up, but it was in service to the story. Like I made sure it fit and it worked. Yeah. But
See, I didn't. Anybody that's like bad, like there's a brothel owner who is just a horrible person, and I had to give her a name. And I was thinking, and I was like, okay, I cannot name her after anybody that I know because I would not want to be named after that type of character. So all the characters that are bad in my book, like the background characters that are just awful, they just have fake names. They're not named. I just want to make that clear. No one is named after anyone that I know.
nah, you got to be petty. You got to. To be fair, I don't actually know his name because we've never had that much of a conversation. He
Oh my god.
communicates. He communicates in post-it notes,
On
which
your door.
is which is a trait that I gave to the guy. So I made up a name. I just made up a
Oh
douchey
my
name
god.
that felt
That's funny.
felt like a name feels slimy.
Mm-hmm.
So and I'm not going to say it because I feel like it's too close to Keith, and I'm not disrespecting Keith. So,
Oh my god, that's funny. Of
but
course it
yeah,
would be close to his name. That's funny.
the heat's
Yeah,
picked up.
right?
Yeah, the heat's picked up now. I feel like I'm in some kind of challenge. It's like
What is the temperature there normally? Like, what is your normal average summer temperature?
it's not good. It's not good. We sort of have like a peak from the sun. It sort of comes out for a minute, and then like you'll know it's hot in England because you'll walk down the street and there'll be some guy with a really shit football tattoo with his top off and like a can of lager at like 6 in the morning,
Oh my god.
and you're like, oh, and you're like,
Well, I know
yeah,
you guys keep saying that it's really hot, but it's like seems like normal temperature for here. What I've looked up, so I'm just wondering: do you guys normally? Are you guys normally like 20? I don't know, 25. I don't know what Celsius is to Fahrenheit.
it's I don't actually know. I'm trying to. It says 24 degrees, and that's not right. But
24. Let me see.
yeah, let's find out. But you'll know because we don't handle the summer right. Like the guys, they're all got like you'll just see it and you'll
Oh
be
yeah,
like,
that's right.
it's a mystery. You're like, just put your top back on, man. Just no one wants to see that. Just put
Like
your top on.
stop. I
Yeah,
mean,
like
it's 20. You said 27. That's only like 80 degrees.
okay, that's what it's telling me. But in here, I'm locked into this room and it's picking up. Like
And it's like that humid heat. Oh god, that's what we've been
oh,
having. It's awful. Because
it's
right now it's 81 here, which is 27 Celsius. But it's so humid. It's like 60% humidity or something. It's so awful. You can't even go outside, which I think 60% humidity is kind of normal for you guys. We
we
usually get like 40%.
I thrive in the snow. In the cold and the snow, I'm at my best.
Well, yeah, you're from the UK. It's cold
Yeah. Yeah. And literally for the rest of us, I don't know. It's it's all right. It's just you notice it. You get to this point where you're like, wow, it's fun. It's good. It keeps the podcast interesting, you know. Is he gonna pass
there.
out? What's gonna happen?
Let's
But
watch that sweat go down his face.
oh mate, it's I keep looking around for like a towel or something. I'm trying not to be that guy, but it's fine. It's fine. I can handle this. It's good. I got it. Okay, so what's next for you then? What's your plan?
So right now I am focused on getting reviews for my book. And so that I mean I have 36 on Amazon right now in the US Amazon account. Because for some reason it doesn't translate over all of them. I think on the UK I only have 18 reviews or something, but I have 36 on my United States Amazon account, which is amazing. It's so many. I'm trying to get as many reviews as I can so that whenever book two comes out, book one already has a good sort of footing, for people that haven't seen my book. They'll be like, oh, like 40, 50 reviews. That's pretty good. Um, but yeah, I am going to finish book two. I'm going to do the audiobook for book one. I was going to work with my artist to do a spine design for the hardcovers because I haven't made the hardcovers yet, but I'm wanting to. And I wanted to do like a whole design over the 6 books. So when you put them
That's
together,
cool.
it makes one picture.
Yeah.
But we have to wait until all the books are finished and published because she said that you have to have the width of each spine to make sure that the design will work properly, which so that kind of sucks.
Yeah.
But I'm going to work with her to get a design for, well, it's going to be the same design, but I'm going to get her to make a hardcover sleeve so I can get out hardcovers and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, I'm just going to work on book 2 and try to get that out by April of next year. And just with how things are going, I feel like it will be April of next year. Hopefully it'll be sooner, but that's my plan for now. Just keeping people engaged and getting book 2 out.
So, right, one more time. Go online, go to Amazon. Oh, before you do anything, hit like, hit subscribe, share to your friends. Then go out, buy the book, right? Now, buy one for yourself, buy one for your friends, all of them, and then your family, an extended family,
Yeah.
and then your co-workers.
Yeah.
And make sure that they all leave a positive review, because if they leave anything less than 5 stars, Haley will turn up to their house.
That's right.
And she'll call
Ask
some
them
carnage.
why.
She'll ask them why, and she'll call some carnage. And then if you got some spare stuff left over,
Yes.
go and grab this, and then just be like, why is it why is it so violent, and why does he keep killing his neighbor? Yeah, I'm gonna find an excuse to kill him in the second one.
That's funny.
Right.
Also, my book is now book 1 is available on Kindle Unlimited. So if you have Kindle Unlimited subscription, you can read it for free on that. I did not have it before, but I do have it now. It's been doing pretty good on there. And I'm planning on running some sort of special soon for like discounted rates and stuff like that. I think whenever the audiobook comes out, I may do one. And then of course, before book 2 comes out, which is next year. But right now I do have it on Kindle Unlimited. You can find me hcnewell.com, facebook.com/hcnewell, or hcnewell on Instagram are my platforms. Yeah, and you can just join the little community. I am most active on Facebook, and we do Facebook Live events, live Q&As, book discussions. It's really, really fun. Usually a lot of people get involved. There's usually about 20 or 30, 20 people, something like that, 15 to 20 people in the chat, which is really great. That's about the audience that I would want. Any more than 20 and it starts to get kind of convoluted and I can't respond to everybody.
No, that's it. And all of the links will be down in the description below, including mine. I'm on Twitter at Mr. King Reardon. And yeah, you can also find me on 20 Questions With on that channel. We will be, the latest one just went up, and they've been a bit scrambled. I can't remember what the last one is. The next one's going to be great. Not going to spoil anything. I nearly did then. It's going to be completely crazy. But most of those interviews are like, if you have the opportunity to go over, and yeah, really appreciate everyone that follows both channels. And yeah, it's been fun. Thank you so much, and I shall see you on the next one. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you.